What are some modalities for healing that perhaps we haven't heard of that people use?
Yeah. So many of them, I will say, do overlap with emotional distress because it's often hard to pick apart what exactly is your emotional thing and what is your spiritual thing because they kind of run together. But one of the fundamental things that can be helpful is the idea of mindfulness. Now, that word gets
Hmm.
overused, and people sometimes think it just means meditation. So let's talk about what it means for a minute, really. What it really means is focusing and living in the actual moment that you're living in right this minute as much as possible, as opposed to having your attention be in the past, meaning, oh, but I used to be able to play golf. I used to have two legs, right? I used to be young and vibrant and different. Or sometimes our mind goes to the future. Oh no, what if that comes back? What if my CT scan is bad? What if I die? What if my hair falls out from the chemo? So both of those attention places, the past and the future, make us feel worse, increase our distress, right? So maybe we're thinking, oh my gosh, what if I die? What if I die? What if I die? What if I die? That increases our spiritual existential distress. Whereas most of the time, if we can focus our attention in the literal moment we're in, you and I are chatting right now, the people who are listening right now, that's our now. And so if we can say, oh, I notice my mind's like, whoa, no, what if, this is how I do it. Take a deep breath, some physical thing, maybe rub your hands together, and then focus all of your attention on what's happening in the moment. So what do I see? What do I feel under my feet or my bottom if I'm in a chair? What do I hear? What do I smell? All of your attention in the actual moment that you're living in, and that significantly reduces spiritual stress and also emotional distress. So that's one. Now, for people who have a religious context and for whom it's important, then connecting with someone from their faith, a faith leader, ideally, or a colleague, can be very helpful because religion, for people for whom that is important, does kind of answer some of this spiritual distress, which is for many religions, there's an idea that after death, there's another experience and that that experience is generally a good thing. And it takes away sometimes some of people's fear. But you certainly don't have to have religion to manage spiritual distress. And I will even tell you, as a palliative care doctor, even people with very strong faith, in my experience, as they come close to death, some of them are still very afraid. So it's not like it's a panacea and it takes away all the fear. It's just one context that can be helpful. But focusing on other things, even if God or religion is not your thing, other things that are meaningful and outside of us. So that could be things like nature, art, love, connection, animals, right? Things that are outside of our petty, oh, I gained 5 pounds, or oh no, my hair's turning gray. Things that feel bigger and more meaningful. Space, for a lot of people, it's space, meaning like where the planets are, right? So standing outside and looking up at the stars and the planets, you realize, gosh, my problems are small in the big context. And so sometimes getting that perspective can get us outside of our particular worries.